Raila Odinga's mass action has continued to elicit reactions from both sides of the political divide. And everyone is pulling strings to his side. In this podcast, I want us to relook at this counter narrative of who is looking for the other. Cleophas Malala today claimed that Raila Odinga sent emissaries to William Ruto behind the scene. And yesterday I spoke passionately about boardroom, and I will not go much into that because I realized that my argument was not popular with many majority of our viewers here. Now today, Nation, while attending the press briefing that was called by Azimio la Umoja leaders at Orange House, intimated and they were asking Sifuna to comment about a confidential exclusive report that emerged that William Samoei Ruto sent close Uhuru Kenyatta ally and believed to be his brother Kungu Muigai to talk with Raila in what is a message sent to Uhuru Kenyatta so that Uhuru Kenyatta can talk Raila out of the mass action. And that has been the center of efforts to convene a meeting between Raila Odinga and William Ruto. And according to the reports that emerged, I looked at the body language of Sifuna. He did not want to comment or even say anything in relation to that. To some extent, he just abstained from that topic. But the same Nation journalist was saying that allegedly President William Ruto refused to engage into any sort of a talk with William. President Uhuru Kenyatta refused to engage with any talk between them, between William Ruto and Raila Odinga. You know, I don't know which sort of arrangement it can take because the president and his team, current president and his team, have been so much lethal attacking the handshake arrangement, and what they have consistently told the public that was the start of all the problems that we are going through, even though me and you understand that some problems we are going through now are beyond our borders, or some have been caused by the global forces. So ladies and gentlemen, I want us to interrogate this claim very objectively. Now, in fact, when I got it, I am not against it because yesterday I think I was asking amongst the pundits, I was asking, we've ever been to a situation where we need to put our act together and we've always overcome such, what was making it very difficult? But then I am just pondering about it and asking, what does it have for Raila at this moment? Because as to what I understand, the fact that Azimio la Umoja were holding political rallies, they were talking to the population. So talking out of mass action by just a mere meeting between some 2 or 3 gentlemen, according to me, I don't think much of it being an option on the table, but it's not that effective. But then I want to talk to the public because these messages, they're actually targeting you, the public. The consumer of these narratives is you. And that's why I want us to interrogate these messages about someone sending someone to meet Raila Odinga rather than Raila refusing, so that you also just get to understand what exactly is on table. Kindly subscribe to our channel, click the notification bell and like our video. Thank you very much for your support. Now, the two sides to it. While many will actually agree or to those, there is a school of thought that William Ruto is trying to reach out so that he can be projected as trying to solve the impasse. But don't you think that it also portrays Raila as a man who is pushing his own interest, and now that Uhuru has been plugged in, pushing his own interest with Uhuru Kenyatta, and to some extent, it can brew Azimio leadership divide. The ranks and file within Azimio will be divided. Remember, this is a strategy that is normally used, divide and rule. And you can give it to William Ruto. This is something that William Ruto knows. That is in his political books. You'll go to a region, used it in Mount Kenya, divided Jubilee on the other side, Reno on the other side. He's now doing it in Western, where he's trying to divide Malala and Musalia, and in Nyanza, there is the divide of rule of the 9 ODM rebels. And of course, this is something that is going on. And I will not be surprised, and you should not be surprised, that maybe there is such a scheme that is trying to be planted within the Azimio portfolio. Now, secondly, the public need to interrogate further to understand, is Ruto pursuing Raila to leave the matter, to make the public understand that whatever the mass action is, it's to leave it to the leaders so that to go to the street? Is it a strategy? Is it a narrative that is thrown, or rather is hawked in public, to make the public withdraw from the discussion about the cost of living and understand that, of course, this thing is about Raila and Uhuru Kenyatta and William Ruto? Now, we need to look at it in that context. So, for the public to understand, because there is no substantiated evidence of what exactly is playing out. However, I don't know, what you make of this? What is the essence of that press briefing? We look at that. What is the essence of that press briefing? It was at Chungo House. You need to think loud about it. Let me say, time is very delicate, especially for Raila Odinga. The public expectation, and I can tell you to just take a second and go through our comment section, previous just videos that we've produced in the last 2 days, you will understand that the public expectation is more on that protest aspect. And if anything away from it would actually antagonize those supporters. I can tell you that. So I saw people in the comment section that saying that Raila should not take us for a ride. On this time round, let's go. And remember, Raila Odinga politics has always been anchored on quest for justice. And even 2017, he was in the front line. He moved until then he said, he gave in. And there was that handshake, which I can tell you, it was not a decision in futility. Only people who are blinded in this country, no, let me not judge others, but let me say, only those who are too politically skewed cannot see the positive implications of that handshake arrangement. Now, it will be a very sensitive fact for Raila Odinga to enter into it as premature because of irreducible minimums. Remember, these irreducible minimums cannot be achieved. Most of us are most of the publics are saying, let's talk about the service, let's talk about the cost of unga, let's talk about electricity. So the conversation is more of what is helping the public. The conversation is not on what Raila Odinga can get. I know, I listened to some leaders saying, it's about trying to shield the conversation that is going on about the 15 billion haste and all that. But then, Raila could be seen as betraying the cause at this moment. So, while I strongly believe that boardroom is an avenue that is available, and it's not bad, because sometimes I don't think it's about holding hard stand. When we stop talking, that's when we start fighting. But when we start talking, when we accept to talk, we start fighting when we stop talking. So it's not bad to talk. Now, let me tell you, political careers are on the lifeline. There are those who see the current dispensation, or rather the current discussion going on, as a new dawn in the political arena. I can tell you, all those around Raila Odinga, that those who understand very well that maybe Raila Odinga is not going to be politically active or politically viable to be on William Ruto's succession. So there are those who have went behind Raila, around Raila, not necessarily pursuing the interest that is at stake, but they'll just want to learn from Raila's school of politics. So the discussion going on, or rather dispensation going on, is putting careers in lifeline. You just gonna understand this way. Are we going to have a contest if Raila is not in question? Are you going to have a contest in future? I guess not. So there is a bit of it, and that is why I can tell you that this is the time that it will be very difficult for William Ruto to break that Azimio ranks. It will be very difficult to pluck Karua or to pluck Kalonzo, because each one of them are looking at what's coming in the future. What's the discussion going on? And also, you don't want to lose the masses. You know, the worst that you can do as a politician is to lose the masses. So I want to speak passionately about this report, that while the boardroom aspect is, the boardroom discussion is not wrong, is not ill-advised, but then the public should be very keen to interrogate and delve deep on what exactly is being served at the table. Is what you are seeing what is being served, or you're being served with something to drink you? What's your thoughts?